right, welcome everyone to the CMA review. So this is the Certified Medical Administrative Assistant review. So I'll do the first question and then we'll just do a round robin. So what I want you guys to do is just read the question and then let us know what you think the answer is, and then we'll help you guys out if you get stuck. All right. So for this first question I'll do, and then we'll get started. All right, the cardinal rule for bookkeeping include, so the first thing you want to do, all right, good penmanship, yeah. Legibility, yeah. And then straight columns, so this is for bookkeeping, yeah. So I'll go with all the above. So some of these questions are going to be this simple for this one, because it's the introductory one. All right, so we'll start over there. So just read the question and then give us your answer choice.
Which of the following is not one of the patient's rights provided by A, right to notice of facilities privacy practices, B, right to receive notice to all disclosures of PHI, C, right to obtain the original medical record, D, right to have access to view and obtain a copy of their.
So which one do you think? So PHI is protected health, not records, information. Not one of the rights under Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. What do you say? Do you want to say A? Like this with a question? You agree? Let's see what HIPAA. So they're talking about rights to have access to view and obtain a copy. So yeah, you can access it, view it, and get a copy, right? Who owns it?
The hospital or the facility.
The facility owns the physical, but who owns the info? The patient. So they can access the info, but can they obtain the original? No. So which one can they not do? Obtain the original, because who owns it? The facility, but the info is the patient's records. All right, very good. All right, so we'll go to the back for the next question.
Which of the following dates is written in the correct format? 5107, May 1st, 2007. Well, I want B.
B? Everyone agrees?
No, I'm sorry. C.
C? She's checking C. Final answer? If this was to be a millionaire, that's what you'd ring in? You're not phoning the audience, phoning a friend, no? Okay, good. So, couple acceptable formats. Just know that everywhere else in the world, what do they do first?
Month.
Day,
First
month, and then year. We're the weird ones, right? So just be careful. All right, so let's go with you, Avery.
When working under a managed care plan, physicians agree to A, base fees on national trends, B, charge rates with the average, C, set fees as a fee determined by the plan, and D, set fees for a certain range and dictated by the plan.
Managed care plan. Dun, 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 dun. So a lot of it is vocabulary. So in your packet, right? So you have your study guide. In the margins is all the vocabulary terms you want to focus on. Get those down first, and you'll see a lot of it is vocabulary and then medical terminology. So what do you guys think, everybody? C? You guys are thinking C? Predetermined? Managed care? Manage, what are they managing? Not care, they're managing money. Very good. All right. So the front row now. Next question.
Which of
Should be an easy one.
I think it's D.
Yeah, you overthought it. So yeah, this is all the costs they're going to incur. And there's a little bit of business in this, but basically you wrap up all the costs of everything and you multiply it by a factor, and that's what the physician will usually charge. So it should be
D. Sorry.
all right, next question.
When preparing a file for a new patient, the medical assistant should A, be sure the patient's name is spelled correctly, B, review the forms the patient filled out for completeness, C, copy the insurance card or assure the information is included, D, all of the above. That's D.
So here's another answer choice E for easy question. All right, I'll do the next one, and then we'll continue on with our rotation. Oh, indexing. So here we got Amanda M. Styles Duncan. So anytime you have a hyphenated name, we treat that as one element. One complete element, no space, no hyphen, nothing. So we can see here that this is a space, so that's wrong. This is not connecting it together, so that's wrong. This guy reversed it, so the only one that is acceptable would be Styles Duncan. Right? So indexing hyphenated names, one element. Just squeeze it together. So De La Rocha, one element. De La Rocha, oh no, just one element. De La Cruz, one element. Put it all together.
Who is the legal owner of the patient's medical record? The patient, the physician, or agency where services were provided. C, the patient's insurance company. D, both the patient and the physician.
So we kind of mentioned this earlier with our HIPAA question. So who did we say owned the actual physical original copy?
The physician agency.
Yeah, but the information belongs to the patient. So that's where it gets a little cumbersome because there's like joint ownership. But here they're talking about the physical hard copy. So that's going to be the physician, the facility that creates it. So they're very specific on some of those questions. All right, continue on in the back.
Information that is gained by questioning the patient or taken from a form is called confidential information.
Questioning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Questioning the patient or taking from the form is called, I think it's subjective. I get those mixed up sometimes.
Okay, so the difference between, so it's not necessary. You figured out it's not PHI yet. So is it subjected or objective? So which one is going to be or going to have interpretation? Which one is it objected to interpretation or are you subjected to interpretation? So this one is going to be facts and figures and numbers. So things you can measure.
So it would be object.
So objective you can measure. So there's a number. For example, patient's temperature. There's a number you can record. How much do they weigh, right? There's a number you can record. Subjective questionnaire, I can ask you, what's your pain level, right? Do I have a tool? I probe you in certain areas, and I know how much pain there is, right? So we just ask the patient from 0 to 10, 0 no pain, 10 being the most pain you ever been into. What do you feel, right? So that is going to be subjected, right? Subjected to their interpretation. Objective, you can measure. Right? So if there's a number, most likely it's going to be objective. All right, specific questions. CMS 1500. So you say 2.
Yes.
So let's go into the study guide. Let me find the page for you guys. So it's going to be 63. So everyone turn in their study guide into page 63. This is where they have the CMS 1500 form. And they go through every single block, every single item. So look towards the bottom. So there's going to be diagnoses, and then there's going to be procedures. So is it 4 or 6? Dun, dun, dun. Looks like 6, right? So double check. So starting, what is that, chapter 4? So on page 63, that's when they start to explain every single line from 1 through, 33 of CMS 1500. Simple math, you won't have a calculator on the exam. So just subtract. What do you need to subtract? And then you subtract another 50. Oh, you can't take out your cell phone during the exam. So you're just going to have to do some long math, long division. So it's easy. So this becomes 550, right? So that's what you just need to subtract from the total. So 4359 minus 550. What'd you get? 903. Yeah? So make sure you do simple subtraction, multiplication. No calculators are going to be given. Did I do the math right? Did you guys confirm? Okay. So not too bad. So for future, jot this down. A equals L plus E. Did you guys take the bachelor courses or just the associates? Okay, in the bachelor course you have some business. So make sure you know A equals LE. And you know how to remember this? It's my favorite thing. Beer, ale, right? A equals LE. So we'll go back to that. All right, next question.
Which type of bonding covers all employees in a facility?
So this is just terminology. So you have to focus on their terminology. What does it mean to them? Because there's a lot of similar meaning. So if you were to guess, what do you guess? What would you? You guess B, personal? That covers all?
I'm gonna go with C.
C. So C, general position. So we know it's not personal, right? Because here we want all. So most likely D, C, D, C. 50-50. Okay, so 50-50. So 50-50. All right. All right, that's what you want to do with these things. Eliminate the obvious choice, the next obvious, and then 50-50. So now you have a better chance of getting it correct. So again, it's just terminology. You have to get familiar with there. Right? Umbrella, blanket, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like blanket coverage, just like when they cover everything.
Yeah, yeah. So in other industries, they do call it umbrella coverage. So I gotta stick with it. All right, my turn, right? So the amount of money paid to keep an insurance policy in force is the premium. So this is what you pay in order for it to kick in. So let's say you got a car accident, you broke your leg, you got to pay $1,000 to get your car fixed. To get your leg fixed, you got to pay $1,000. It's the same thing. Copay, every item you might have to pay a portion, but this is fixed. This is usually fixed. Coinsurance, That's usually a percentage. So that means I pay 20, and because I bought insurance, insurance company might cover 80%. So this may not be a fixed cost. Other things, deductible fixed, copay fixed per item. All right, ma'am, back to you.
Which of the following should be included in a section of the office policy manual? A. Employee evaluations. B. Confidentially. C. Fairness and absenteeism. D. All of it.
E for an easy question. All right, go into the back.
Which of the following is not a method of organizing a medical record? Source-oriented, problem-oriented, progressively, and I can't say that word.
Chronologically.
Chronologically.
No. Source oriented. Medical records. Problem oriented medical record.
I'm gonna say C.
Progressively. Usually this is in reverse chronological order, right? So the earliest thing on top, older stuff at the bottom. So you're saying C?
I'm gonna say C.
Process of elimination. Yeah, very good. So we'll talk about source-oriented versus problem-oriented medical records. All right.
Arrangements mean in alphabetical order. Okay.
So take a moment. If you need to, write out the alphabet. A?
No?
Yes, you're correct. Are you correct? Are you correct? Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. Yeah, even if you have to, write out the alphabet, sing the song.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. Yeah, just sing the song. Because it might break you. It might be that question where if you would have got it, you would have passed. All right, next question.
Maximum amount of money that the third-party payers will pay for a specific procedure or service is called the benefit. A. Benefit. B. Allowance charge. C. Allowed service. D. Incurred amount. I would go first.
Terms, all similar sounding meaning. If you were to guess. 10 seconds. Allowable service. So service have to do with money? What has to do with money? What do you say? Somebody said? B, yeah. So the clues in the question. So yeah, it's not covered. Your procedure's not covered. This is, yeah, but your insurance only covers half of it. You can do it, but they'll only cover half of it. All right, so terms got you there. Next question.
Health insurance designed for military dependents and retired military is it's either A or B.
Either A or B. So you know this is for them people.
Old people.
7,000 a day. Every day, 7,000 patients reach that age. Medicaid, of course, is per state. So you got TRICARE, CHAMPVA. What's VA stand for?
Veterans Affairs.
Okay, veterans Affair Veterans Association. So this is
I'm gonna go to TRICARE. Yeah.
there you go. TRICARE. So now they have a private component where you can select as well. All right, is it back to me? The division of the federal government that enforces privacy standards is the, let's see, OSHA is about safety, right? HIPAA is protected health information. Who are these guys? So at least you got 50-50. All right, how many say C? Raise your hand. No one for C, all right. How many say D? Nobody, all right. No one votes. All right. Did you guys vote for the president? If you're not, then I'll let you know who to vote for. So this is the Office of Civil Rights. So it's going to be these guys. So privacy rights, it's like a civil right. 50-50. Right. So just narrow it down, you guys should do fine. All right, back to the beginning.
How many provisions does it contain?
So how many parts are there? How many main parts? We got the P portion and then the A portion. This last A is just for ACT. So you got health insurance, portability, and accountability. That's it. There's only two main, but there's subdivisions of each, right? So portability meaning if you change jobs, you can buy COBRA and be covered. Because usually when you change jobs, you don't get health insurance right away. The second thing is, well, if I know your health history, I can discriminate against you. So if I see that, hey, this person had cancer, that's expensive. I don't want them. What? She's pregnant? I'm not hiring her because that's expensive. And they got to deal with the benefits as well. Two main sections. All right, next question.
Oh, sorry. Which letter style combines efficiency with an attractive page layout? A, modified block, B, block, 3, simplified, none of the above.
You guys know the difference? So this is the alignment of the paragraphs. So block is everything starts on the left. So you got new paragraph, double space. Right. Modified block, well, let's indent the first line. So all the first lines are indented. So which one do you think looks better? Everything left align, or you indent some of the paragraphs? Block. So here, this is a little bit of opinion. So they're gonna say the best looking one is modified. So they want us to indent the paragraphs. I think block is just way too formal for a lot of things. Revise? You're changing things? Revise mean to change. Pull the audience. You got a little help? That's why they say, be quiet. in that millionaire show. Are we changing? Revise is changing. Don't change your answer based on me now. But I'm glad you did. All right, good. So yeah, when you review stuff, you're just doing an audit real quick, checking everything's there. All the T's are crossed, I's are dotted.
A document that explains what expenses were paid after submission to Medicare and sent to the physician's office is called
Terms again, very similar meaning terms.
I would say
C, EBO. So it's not estimate, right?
Yeah.
Because it's already paid. So we're not estimating anymore. It's done. So we know it's not that one. Who gets what? Which one goes to the office? So which one goes to the office? So which one goes to the patient? Which one goes to the office?
B goes to the patient and then I think A goes to the office.
Very good. All right. So you talk that one through. So this one goes to the patient, and this one is the office. So we always tell the patient, things didn't get paid, check the EOB. Tell the patient to check.
Which part of Medicare covers prescription drug services? Is it? Oh yeah, drugs. D.
Yeah, easy enough. D is for drugs. So what is A? Inpatient or outpatient? Usually inpatient. Yeah. Then B is outpatient. What is C?
It's an extra one that you pay for, like a third party payer.
Yeah, it's an optional one that you pay into, and it's a private company. So a lot of times it'll cover benefits under Medicare Part A and B, so you don't even need it.
Part D, does it cover extras?
Part who?
Part D,
Part D is drugs.
just drugs.
Yeah. So it used to be before 2003, all seniors had to pay basically for their own medication. But now, after the Medicare Modernization Act, aka Medicare Part D, they have to elect drug coverage. It's still a private prescription plan that they have to select. D is for drugs. All right, next question. Or is it my turn? Oh, it's my turn. All right. The federal and state sponsored health insurance program for the mentally indigent is called, so we know federal and state. So Medicare is the elderly usually, and that's a federal program. Medigap, well, that's kind of like that Part C. Right? So if something's not covered by Medicare, any difference is covered by your private insurance. Medi-Cal is California's Medicaid program. So Medicaid is state. But this is state and federal. Uh-oh. So which one is it? So we know it's not that one. We know it's not that one. So which of the following is both state and federal? So this is a national test, so they're not going to do specific state questions. Right? So Medicaid is federally sponsored, right? Only if the states choose to do it, right? So the state has the option to say yes or no. So it's state and federal.
A non-profit organization that assists healthcare facilities or private
Hospitals. Oh, it used to be hospital, now it covers everything. All right, so what's OSHA? OSHA is safety. So do they do hospital accreditation? Surgery office accreditation? No. Right, so we know it's not them. The ABHES. Hello, hello. Have you guys ever heard of them? No. All right. So now we have the Joint Commission. So they changed their names, but they did not change the acronym. So which of the following is JACO's acronym? The Joint Commission. It used to be on the Accreditation of Hospital Organizations, but now they're just known as Joint Commission. D or C? D, the Joint Commission on Hospital Association, or the Joint Commission on the Accreditation of Hospital Organization? Joint Commission on the Accreditation of Hospital Organization. That's their old name, and they kept their old acronym, but their new name is just the Joint Commission, because it's more than just hospital now. It's a lot of healthcare facilities. So change the name, but did not change the acronym. So they didn't have to change their Tumblr, their Facebook. You know how it goes. All right, next question.
Is that me?
Yeah.
A system of recording, classifying, and summarizing financial transactions is called bookkeeping. Financial accounting.
So at least she narrowed it down 50-50 right off the bat. So depreciation is value. The value of most cars go down. Accruing is how much you accumulate, whether it be debt or payables. So which one is financial transaction? Bookkeeping or accounting? Bookkeeping? Which one is for sales? Bookkeeping or accounting? Dun, 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 dun. So one is one part of the business, just sales. The other is the whole entire. So which one? So again, terms. 50-50, if you were to guess, which one? A or B, ma'am?
I'm going to say bookkeeping.
She goes with A. Her conviction is A. 50-50. This time, 50-50. Not bad.
Okay, but okay.
Better than Vegas.
Explain the difference again?
Just terminology. So bookkeeping is mostly one sales department.
Okay.
Let's say the snack shop, right? They're gonna have sales in the hospital. Another person gonna have sales, the actual lunchroom, and then the pharmacy, right? So that is bookkeeping for the department. But everything else, all the financial and monetary policy, payment, wages, right? That's gonna be the entire accounting department. Assets equals liability plus equity. So, what do you own? What does it sound? Do you own the assets? Do you own the liability? Or do you own the equity? Assets? Dun, dun. Okay,
Well,
let's.
they can take your assets away.
Okay, let's do a little example. All right, who owns a house? You guys own your house? Looking to buy sooner or later? All right, so let's do it easy. Let's say your house is worth $100. Right? Super easy math, right? It's for the math. It's $100. You have to put down 20%, right? So that's the equity, what you put down. What do you owe the bank? $80 is the liability. Okay, let's say something happens and you sell the house. What is the house worth?
The equity.
No, the house. What's the house worth?
Oh, $100.
$100. Doesn't matter how much you owe on the house. What's the value of the house? $100. You can owe $0 on the house, but the house is worth $100. You can owe $100 on the house, but the house is still worth $100. So how much you owe does not determine the value of the house. But if you were to sell the house for $100, how much of that is actually yours? 20. Because the liability, the stuff you owe the bank, is $80, right? So that's the simplest way to think about beer. A equals LE. So What is the property owned by the business? Equity? The asset. You own the house, right?
Right.
So how much is your house worth? $100. So how much of the house is actually yours?
The equities, whether it's
What's in the equity? So let's say your house went up to $200, right? Because we're in California, and now you used to live in El Cajon, but the flood went through, and now you have beachfront property. So now your El Cajon house is worth $200. How much do you owe the bank?
whatever I owed the first one,
Okay, now how much is your equity?
120.
120, because this has to balance. Nice. So you guys are now more comfortable. So there's a whole course on it and just identifying what's A, L, and E.
Which of the following is not true regarding HIPAA? Patients have more control over the medical records. These boundaries are set on meetings and release in health records. Patients can make informed choices regarding how their personal health information is used. Violators are held accountable if patient privacy are compromised.
They all sound pretty good. All right. So if you're Spanish speakers, double negatives are hard. So just take a little pause. So you have to think like negative, negative, which is a positive. So here they use not true, and then they use few boundaries to make it difficult for you. So this one is an English test. So it's not an easy question. It's E for English tricks. So which one is it? So they tricked you guys, right? So it's wordy. It's meant to do that sometime.
Because there's lots of boundaries.
Yeah, because there's a lot more. You have to sign the privacy notice. Every time you disclose it, you have to release. Yeah, double negatives. No bueno.
Anything in the trash, you can't do this, you can't,
Yeah, you have to keep it a certain time, etc. All right, alphabetical.
Oh, sorry. Arrange these names in alphabetical order. D.
D. All right, so we got M-A, then M-A-R, then M-C, then M-O. Right? So M-A, C, M-A-R, M-C, and then M-O. Yep. If you have to, write out the alphabet, sing the song. All right, my turn. Again, this is just, you just gotta know. So for the regular business envelope size, that's gonna be number 10. So for 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11, right? That's the normal size. You just fold it in thirds and it fits into the envelope. So which of the following is not objective? So that means they're looking for subjective information, right? So what is subjected to interpretation?
what they tell you.
Yeah. So which one of the following is what they tell you? That's the hard part. B,
Family history.
not objective. So, all right, very good. So you got bailed out there. The audience helped you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You got the next one.
Which of the following documents lists the order in which business is to be
Key term, meeting.
Want me to answer it?
Yeah, that's your question. Minutes, are you sure?
C.
Yes, I think.
Minutes are a record of what happened during the meeting, right? I write down the minutes, spread them out to those who weren't there. Agenda, all right. So yeah, that's the list of tasks. Bylaws are the rules, right? If you got the stick, then you can talk. If you don't have the stick, you can't talk.
And C
What's
is what
itinerary?
they're gonna go over.
Itinerary is for travel, right?
Yeah.
So here's your flight, here's the hotel, here's your meeting, right? Here's your flight back. So for meetings, it's agenda, a list of things we're gonna go over. For travel plans, it's itinerary. So if you're the assistant and you're booking travel, make sure you know which ones they're talking about.
The medical assistant shall collect which of the following when the patient comes to the office. A. Patient information sheet. B. Copy of insurance card front and back. C. Driver's license. D. D.
Yeah. No, it's super easy. So you will get some super easy questions. Don't overthink them. And then you'll get some tricky questions. 10% terminology. So review medical terms. We did envelope size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I would A.
A?
A or B.
Do you know how big 5.5 is? That's 5.5 right there. 5.5 by 8. So you want 8.5 by 11, right? So this is standard size. What is legal? The envelope is number 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, number 10. So standard size is 8.5 by 11. So legal size, right? If you bought a house, you know it's a little bit longer at the bottom. That's legal size. That's 8.5 by 14. Get an extra 3 inches at the bottom. Like contracts, deed to your house, right? 17 by 22 is awesome. I like 17 by 22 because colored placemats. Anytime you're in a bind for colored placemats, there you go. Yeah.
The medical record should be released only with a verbal order from the physician, written order from the physician, written release from the patient, verbal order from the office manager. I think C.
Okay, so here this is kind of vague. So hopefully the exam question will be more detailed because this one could go either way. So
Either B or C.
yeah. So now that I said that, you're like, oh yeah, you're right. So hopefully this is just from a sample. But they're going with patient. So anything, gotta have the patient, the actual physical release. All right, which of the following identifying markers should the medical assistant attempt to remember about suspicious individuals? So one of the biggest thing is medical fraud, using someone else's medical card to get treatment or benefits. So just take a look at everything for the police description.
A claim that is printed and mailed to the courier is called A.
So this is the actual physical copy. So what's the actual physical copy called? Yeah, that's going to be the hard copy. Next question.
Complaints regarding patient privacy policy must be filed within how many days from when the patient knew or should have known that an act occurred within 30 days.
30 days, holy smokes. You're not very patient friendly here. Man, I can't get anything done in 30 days. Let alone get a lawyer, get some investigation going before I sue you. So what's a reasonable time?
60?
Upon discovery, or when you should have discovered. Not when it happened, but when you discovered it. So it actually gives patients a long time.
I only know rape because I watch SB.
Oh, so good.
What's that?
I said I only know the one for rape because I watch SVU.
Uh,
Statute of limitations that they have.
oh, statute of limitation for rapes is
Yeah.
longer, quite a bit longer. So here, if you found that, hey, they sent all this information out to a pharmaceutical company for research without my permission, you got 6 months to get the thing going, get your complaint going. So more time for the patient, more patient friendly.
Okay. Healthcare information is used to A, determine how many patients enter a facility with the same diagnosis. B, decide what equipment is needed to meet the needs of the patient's population. C, help the facility plan for the needs for the next week and next year. D, all of the above.
Just like any business, just like any business, your information is very valuable to you. So that's all of it. So we don't have to share this with anybody, all right? So you can look at your own files, charts, and figure out, hey, you know what? We're getting a lot of diabetes nowadays. So let's expand our diabetes treatment. And since we have these diabetes patients, we need more glucose monitors, larger scales, because our patients are getting larger. And then, you know what? I expect we're going to double our need for the year 2020. So you can do your own information research.
I need to do it.
All right, next question.
Which of the following statements best describe the concept of professional courtesy?
Yeah, so this one is terminology again.
Professional courtesy. So,
So it's usually doctors seeing other doctors or close family members and not charging them. Because it's kind of ridiculous. I can actually look at myself or my family member if I wanted to.
I would go with D, but it says like professional and family and friends.
Reduce fees. It's just for other medical professions.
They do that at my work. We're able to take in our family.
Yeah, it's going to be different from different facilities, so based on their policy. But here, the term professional courtesy, usually they're seeing each other, doctor seeing a doctor.
Leaders who are structured and organized and who ensure that their subordinates understand their duties are called. I'm gonna go with D.
D? Okay, so if you were to take the business class, they go over all these terms. Right? So charismatic is turning on the charm, right? How likable you are. So that's not about ensuring that people know what they're doing, right? So democratic, that's like taking a vote, all right? So you know what you're doing by taking a vote? Probably not. So we narrowed it down to 50-50. We have transformational. So this is changing. And then transactional is the correct answer. So this is just terminology, business terminology. But hopefully you'd eliminate A and D and be able to go 50-50 on this. No worries, it's just terminology. Once you guys go over the packet, go in the margin of the packet, all the terms are listed for you. Which of the following would most likely be a sentinel event? So what is a sentinel event? Alien. All right, so these are things that can we change? Can we make a difference, or we can't make a difference? We can't make a difference? So no matter what we do, we can't make a difference, or we can make a difference. Okay, mistaking patient identity, can we make a difference? Yeah, we can double check, triple check, quadruple check. Baby is born before the birthday. Can we make a difference on that? Baby just comes, right? We schedule it, they're planned, but here comes the baby. Death after emergency surgery. Can we plan for that and prevent it if it was an emergency? So which of the following would then be a sentinel event? Yeah, we can prevent that by double checking, triple checking, asking the patient what's their name, date of birth, social security number, driver's license, maiden name, anything else. Other things, baby's gonna come if they're gonna come. All right, let's go over the last few ones real quickly. Acting in anticipation of future problems is called proactive, right? So pro is before action, so doing it before the action. The physician's signature is located in block. So go to page 63 real quick. So which one is it? So we know it's probably not these. Is it 31 or 33?
31.
31, are you sure? Yeah, you're right. So it's not the last block. It's the one a couple blocks before it, to the left-hand side at the bottom. Why is it usually poor policy to accept third-party checks? Third-party checks, well, that means somebody else wrote it and they didn't write it in front of me, so how do I know? Right? You can't verify. They're not illegal. You can accept them if you trust them. So you know how some restaurants say no checks accepted? Well, if you've been going there like every day for the last 20 years, they're going to take checks from you. So it'd be okay. A type of insurance that protects workers from lost wages. So workers' lost wages happen on the job. Individual policy? Nope. Workers' comp. So who pays into it? The worker. So you're entitled to it. Just make sure that you're not under the influence, because some places the first thing you do before treatment is drug screening. Because if you're found to be under the influence, workplace injury, you're not going to be covered. So do not come to work hungover, etc., etc. Which of the following expenses would be paid in Part B? So A, we mentioned, was pretty much inpatient. B is outpatient. C was private. D is drogas. So you guys said C. Very good. So Part B, outpatient. Visits. The best method of patient identification is birth certificate, state. So is there a picture on here? Is there? You can fake these. Is there a picture on here? No, right? So the only thing with an actual image, state issue, government issue ID. Prevent that fraud. PHI stands for, under HIPAA, protected health information. That's a common one.